Hello and welcome back to Paranormal NL Podcast, located in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. That's PNL Podcast for short. I'm your host and founder, Jen Noseworthy. Thank you for tuning in to UPRN, United Public Radio Network, 107.7 FM in New Orleans and 105.3 FM on that Gulf. For tonight's Bigfoot and Skunk-Apes special on UPRN segment number 56, I've got a special guest waiting tonight backstage from Florida, USA, who I'll bring on shortly. Now it's time to grab your favorite warm drink, a few munchies, and find your cozy place and get ready for that show tonight. Paranormal NL Podcast is sponsored by the BOG team. It's a boots-on-the-ground BOG team doing historical paranormal investigations in Newfoundland and Labrador, Canada. Follow PNL Podcast and the BOG team on their Linktree, Paranormal NL Podcast, and smash those subscribe buttons. All BOG team music heard in the intro and exit is available for download on all social media and streaming music platforms. Tune in every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Eastern on UPRN for PNL Podcast with a YouTube and a Facebook live chat watch party. PNL Podcast believes in supporting international paranormal networking and highlighting global paranormal people, places, and things. Now, let's get on with the show tonight. I have on with me all the way from Florida. I'm going to pull her up on the stage. We've got Marie Dumont. Welcome.
Hey, Jen.
Welcome back.
How are you?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Yes, welcome back. You were previously on PNL Podcast 2024, back when I was doing radio all the way in season 2, episode 123, before I joined UPRN. So welcome back, Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group and team. So tell us a little bit about Marie for the folks listening around the world, the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group who don't know anything about it.
Okay. So again, I'm the founder. My name is Marie Dumont. I'm the founder of the Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group and research team. And my research team consists of Mike Aguilar, Ruby Jo Brew, Christina Lawhorn, and Bob Schmeltz. So Ruby Jo Brew, I think is what I mentioned, and Christina Lawhorn. Anyway, there's 5 of us. Anyway, we go out every single weekend. We are out in the swamps and woods of Florida every weekend. We have been doing this for over 6.5 years, and sometimes more than one. Oh, you got a picture there.
You flashed that was you recently this weekend, wasn't it?
Yes, that was just Saturday night. Yes. So I had my team and I had, we did 2 things. First of all, we went to the Everglades, Big Cypress Preserve, because we went to the Florida Alligator Festival. And it's held at David Shealy's place, the Skunk-Ape Research headquarters down in the Everglades in Ochopee, Florida. So he used to be on my team, blah, blah, blah. So he still, includes us. We still work together, etc. So after the Florida,
I was going to say, don't you do some alligator wrestling yourself?
Oh, me, I don't wrestle them. Yes, I've been on the back of a 7-foot gator before. Yes. I don't actually do wrestling, and no, not at all. But it was really good because the Seminole Indians, the Seminole and Miccosukes, alligator wrestling has always been there. It's been very traditional. They've been doing it for 100 years or so. So so we had a booth at the event, which was awesome.
Okay. Before we continue, I kind of wanted to give a shout out to some legends whom we have lost.
Oh, okay. Yes, this is Dr. Jane Goodall. Yeah, so she spoke back, I think in 2023 down in Miami at FIU. And Dr. Maria Mayer invited me and my team to go to this event. which we did. And so that was a picture that I took. She was an amazing speaker. My gosh, I'm so grateful that I was able to hear her live.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
see,
we've
'cause I've never like really listened to her, and she has some amazing stories. And there was one in particular that everybody was crying, and it's just an amazing story. Just an amazing soul, amazing woman, and it's all good. So anyway, can I continue talking about what happened this past Saturday at
yeah,
the?
let's do it.
Okay, so we had a booth at the Florida Alligator Festival, and then afterwards, my team and I had a overnight Everglades overnight skunk ape investigation and a camp out. So we had a bunch of people who signed up, wanted to go to that. And then there happened to be a film crew there who's doing a documentary, and you can see that picture right there. That's me with the director and the film crew. So they went out with us also. We had a huge group. We had like at least 40 people that went out on this hike, which
That sounds fun.
was amazing. Oh,
Did
yeah.
you
And
did you pick up any evidence on that hike that day?
no, nothing substantial. But, the thing is, in the Everglades, there's very, very few trails that you can actually walk on. Otherwise, you're just walking in water, right? So that was
Right.
a dry trail. So, basically we just, at sunset, we walked, a couple miles, and then we turned around and came back, because you can't like go off into the woods off to the side. It's all water, right? You have an elevated trail and water on each side of you, swamp. And so you can't really look too far, right? So you look on the trail, and but in the distance, there were a few group members that heard a couple, like 3 knocks way off in the distance at one of the hammocks, which is called a hammock, is kind of like an island of trees. It's a dry area for animals. So wildlife will go to those places for them to sleep. They're either climbing in a tree to get out of the water to sleep, or they're going to a hammock, which is dry. So, but there's hammocks like all over the place. So they heard a couple knocks way off in the distance at one of the hammocks. But there was like 3 people that also had a paranormal experience out.
Oh, okay.
Which was, they said they saw a man standing over by the bushes, and then he just walked off and disappeared. So there was like 3 people that saw that. So that was pretty cool. In the past at that trail, I've captured EVP recordings out there on the same trail. So it's heavy Native American stuff out there.
Oh, okay. Not interesting. I really love it when EVPs are captured. Yeah, we're having some audio issues tonight for the folks listening. Sometimes we've been having some wildfires here in Newfoundland and Labrador, unfortunately, and sometimes our Wi-Fi can get spotty out here in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean in Newfoundland. But what do you think about the upcoming, shall we say, the Patty film that's coming up for the anniversary? Do you have any words about that?
I'm sorry. You got cut out. I'm sorry. What did you say?
Okay, yeah, like we said, the communication, it gets kind of spotty. The anniversary for the Patty film is coming up soon. What do you think about that film?
Oh, I personally believe it's legitimate. I think it's very real. There's been so much analysis done on that, and there's people who say they still claim it's a suit, and it very well could be, but I really don't think so. I don't, I don't think anybody was able to make a costume that good back in the 60s. When you saw the old Planet of the Apes movies, those costumes were crap. And that was back in the 60s. And the thing, the biggest thing about that to me is, I'm sorry, but I don't really think a man is going to make a female Bigfoot suit if they were going to make a suit.
I was going to ask you about that, the female part of it. Yeah. So I have some other pictures here that I'm sure you'd probably love to comment.
It makes no sense that a man would. That's just, especially back in the 60s.
Right. Yeah. So you've met a lot of other people over the years at all of your conferences. You mentioned Dr. Mariah Mayer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I bet she lives down in Miami, and of course, there's.
Did she share any?
Yeah, we're good friends.
Did she share any stories with you, Marie, about what she thinks about, the skunk ape and Bigfoot in Florida?
She really doesn't talk about Florida that much, especially like skunk ape. She just doesn't. I don't know. She does the TV show, Expedition Bigfoot, and they typically go to, Oregon or Kentucky or Washington or Alaska and stuff like that. California, Northern California. Of course, those are like the major places where there's Sasquatch. So there's Russell Cord there. That was him 2 years ago. He's holding a artifact that was made by a Native American, a Ute Indian. So that's him there holding it. Yeah. And but she really doesn't. She doesn't do skunk ape research. She doesn't really talk about it, but she is very interested in listening to the stories of the Native Americans in the area around the Everglades. She is very interested in hearing that, but she's never investigated it. So.
Now, Marie, for the folks listening who don't know what a skunk ape is, can you describe one?
Okay, so I always say this about skunk apes. I really do think that we have, my team and I think that we have both in the state. We have both species. Is one, are they related to each other? Maybe. But the reports are very different. I'm in the Tampa area, which is like in the middle center, runs in the middle of the state. So everything south of us seem to be skunk ape reports, and they're very different from Bigfoot reports. The Bigfoot reports seem to be around Tampa and north of Tampa. That picture there is of the alleged skunk ape at Mayaca State Park that a lady took 2 pictures of, I think, behind her house of this creature that was stealing apples off the back of her porch. So it looks like an orangutan, but they typically are not. This one here, it kind of looks like it's almost at least 5.5, 6 feet tall, and orangutans are not that tall. So it could very well be a skunk ape. We don't know, but it doesn't make sense of an orangutan in the Sarasota area. It makes sense in the Everglades. Someone could release their pet out there. There's all kinds of, that's what the Everglades becomes, where people dump their exotic pets and things when they don't want them anymore. That's what they do with them, right?
That was going to ask you about that. Like, could skunk ape be a crossbreed of these escaped animals?
It could very well be. But the differences is skunk apes are reported to be at least 5 to 7 feet tall. They are less hairy. They're very thin, lean, and they have 4 toes versus 5 toes, and their toes are longer than a Bigfoot's typically. 4 toes. Yep.
Okay.
And the reports, like Tampa and north of Tampa, are the traditional Bigfoot reports. The creatures are 6 to 9 feet tall. They're bulkier, and they have 5 toes versus 4 toes. And the Bigfoot reports are the typical Bigfoot reports where, people hear them, they find footprints, people find structures, like cool designs and stuff like that. They make glyphs, they do vocalizations, but the skunk apes don't seem to do much of that at all, which is really unusual. But so that's why we kind of think that there's 2 different things going on in our state. I think we do have 2 different species of animals that we're dealing with, creatures. So skunk apes and Bigfoots. So that's a picture there of a print that we found.
Do you have many people who find a skunk ape print?
Not that many. One of my old team members, he lives down in Miami, so he goes, when he's able to, he goes to the Everglades around Lake Okeechobee, which is very South Florida. And he has found a 4-toed print, and I have a copy of that one. It was about 11 inches long, but it has 4 toes, not 5, and it has a huge big toe. The big toe is just gigantic on this thing, but it's only 4. And David Shealy at the Skunk Ape Research Headquarters, he has a few 4-toed prints there that the natives have found on their reservations or behind their reservations. They'll call him, say, "Hey, there's a print here. Come out and take a look," and he'll go out there and cast it. So he's got a collection of 4-toed skunk ape prints.
Oh, yeah, I see you've found a lot of tree structures.
Yeah, because that's one of the things they definitely do in our area is structures for sure. And, they may not all be structures. Some of it could be natural, but we try to debunk the really unusual things. I'm a real artistic, creative person. So when I'm out in the woods, I'm looking for designs. I'm looking for things that are out of the ordinary, things that are not naturally made typically. So that's why I have a pretty good eye, and so does Ruby. Ruby's the same way as me. So when we go out together, we'll notice stuff. That's a picture of my team right there. That's everybody. And so
is Ruby here in the white shirt?
Yep, that's her. She's peeking around me. That's
okay.
Her. Yep, I love my team. Mm-hmm.
What's your theory on gifting?
Gifting. So some people are very much against it. You have to be very careful with it, because if by some chance you are actually gifting a Bigfoot, especially like at your house, around your house, and they become dependent. Animals become dependent on, your gifts, right? So, let's just say you feed them, you leave food gifts out 2 times a week. Well, if you're out of town, they're still looking for you to be there to leave them a gift, right? So they may damage your property, which you don't want. So it's never a good thing. We have a certain spot that we gift at. And you can see in that picture, they seem to love Reese's peanut butter cups. But we've left some healthy snacks and stuff like that. So right in that picture there is a little monkey stuffed animal. And what we've noticed in our area is that we're doing an experiment. Whenever we have left a stuffed animal out as a gift that has plastic shiny eyes, it seems to have a problem with that. And it'll either rip off the eyes, or it'll take the stuffed animal and put it face down on the ground every single time. It does one of those two things. Now we have one out there that has embroidered eyes. Won't even mess with that. That doesn't even seem to bother them. But if it has shiny, glassy eyes, then it seems to have a problem with it. Is it because to them it looks real? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like
makes me wonder shiny, about my shiny glasses. If you go out at night.
Yeah, exactly. Ruby wears glasses. Mm-hmm. So that's a very interesting observation that we've made, and we're still running the experiment. We still do it. I have a cabinet full of stuffed animals with plastic or glassy eyes that we can bring out there. The last time we were out there about 3 months ago, the stuffed animal that I put out there, it totally took off one eye, and it ripped off the other eye, and it started taking out the stuffing in the head of the stuffed animal. It started pulling it out, and it carried it away.
Really?
It carried it away about 50 feet from the gifting area.
I read a story about a mama bear who had lost her baby and went into a campsite because somebody had a trail cam set up and took a child's teddy bear in replace of their baby that they lost. And didn't upset any of the campers, didn't wake them up, but took the teddy bear. And the child couldn't find her bear. And they looked on the trail cam, and the bear came along and gingerly came in, took the bear, and went off with
it. That makes sense. That makes total sense. So, if somebody's going to try, hold on a second. If anybody's going to really try to gift, they need to be, try not to use food. Maybe use a little bit. Like I've brought out a tomato there before. But try to do puzzles. Try to run experiments and see what's taken, what's messed with, what's, what I'm saying? Just try different things. One of the big things is like blue marbles, the antique marbles. Okay. They seem to like the color blue, leave some crystals, leave some natural gift. Like for us, it'd be seashells. Just anything out of the ordinary that may pique their interest. So.
Okay. I've heard the same theory from people who talk about the Yahweh in Australia, to leave out different things like crystals and rocks and natural things that would pique their interest.
Same thing. Yes, same thing here.
So here's the state of Florida. Have you gone all over the place here?
I've gone to a lot of places, that's for sure. Not every single place. That is the Florida Wildlife Corridor, where the state of Florida is purchasing parcels of land that they're trying to buy parcels of land that connect to each other, so it'll allow wildlife to migrate through the state, maybe out of state if they want to. And it starts at the Everglades. You can see there at the very bottom. That's where the main, corridor starts. And then it kind of like runs up the east side of the state and around the west side of the state. And that's what the state's trying to do, because we have so much development going on. So many brand new houses, and it's messing up the animals. And a developer comes in, the state allows them to build these houses where there used to be swamps. They fill in these swamps. The animals don't know any different. So they're just, doing their normal route, and all of a sudden there's houses there.
Yeah.
So now they don't have places to hunt for food. So
I think that's a big problem for wildlife everywhere. We've seen it even since I've moved in. On our street, there's been at least 5 new houses and deforestation. And where do the animals go?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Where do the animals go, and where can they get their food? They're having to go through neighborhoods now. And it's very, very sad what's happening here in Florida. But that's, we're number 3 in the United States for having the most reported sightings or experiences. We're number 3 in the entire United States, and that's probably because of all of our development and all the people that are here, right?
Could be.
That, like I just said, the development, these new houses and stuff, now people are seeing a Bigfoot walk through their backyard, and
that makes 100% sense.
Yes, and that corridor map, if you line up the corridor map with a map of Bigfoot sightings and experiences, they almost line up perfectly.
Oh, wow. Amazing.
And those happen to be like waterway areas too.
So, okay. Now, this is something that your team made courtesy of Bigfoot Research Group for Florida, for the folks doing their investigations.
Yes, we, one of the park managers reached out to me and said, because he knows that I have a Bigfoot research team, he's like, hey, how can I get these silhouettes? And I was like, well, we can make them for you, because we love their park. We love his park. We always go camping there. So that's how he knows us. And so we're like, oh, yeah, he wants to put them out in the park and have people find them and do a photo op with them and stuff like that. And then they've got some stickers for sale in their office. And so they have not put them out yet, but we have delivered them to them, but they have not put them out yet.
So this was what you were talking about earlier.
Yes, Saturday when we had our camp out and investigation in the Everglades. So we had a film crew join us out there, which was really awesome. So they filmed all of us out there doing the walk, and it's really cool at night. It photographs very well because you're using red lights or flashlights, and it just gives it a cool, creepy look to it. So it was really awesome.
Love it.
Great time.
Got to give a shout out to some other people who I had to put this in here for Christmas. I just got my nails done.
I know. That's funny. Don't you love that?
No, this is a picture of you out on the water.
Yes, on an airboat in the Everglades.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the airboat. That's Betty Osceola. She's a Miccosukee Indian. She's a conservationist. She does a lot of work trying to, get lawmakers to stop messing with the water levels in the Everglades and stuff like that. So she owns an airboat company. And that was, I think, last year. I went out on an airboat with her and David Shealy, and we did some research out there in Big Cypress. So,
do you find day or night investigations better for skunk ape and Bigfoot?
I prefer daytime just because you can see structures easier. You can see just if there's something walking through or whatever. Nighttime's very difficult just because your senses are really, it's harder. it's harder to see. You got to have a really good flashlight. Hope to God you don't trip and fall. But it's a lot more exciting at night. But I prefer daytime personally,
Yes.
because I'm looking all over. I'm looking, something walks by, a structure, a print, you know what I'm saying? So you just see more during the day. But there have been Skunk-Ape sightings during the day. So, and Bigfoot. So I don't think it really matters. And that's some of the Seminole Indians right there in that picture there.
Okay. Shout out to them.
There. There's some Seminole, yep, those are some of the Seminole Indians.
And there's a lot of structures. And I mean, there's so many different, shall we say, I mean, you've got the Everglades, then there's so many different types of forests and for them to be in.
That's Washington State, that picture right there. I was there July 4th. That's Washington last year. The other picture was Washington in July. And that's me at the this year's Florida Bigfoot conference. I'm holding an albino alligator. And it's really cool because he had like pink reddish eyes. That's me. That's me on the 7-foot alligator.
That must have been fun.
She was difficult. She was tricky. She was trying to get away. So she would actually have to start walking. And it's like, oh God, here I am trying to get on the back of her. And they can really, you don't want to get in the way of their tail because that's how they get their prey. They'll knock you down. They'll slap their prey, like to stun them. And it also pushes the prey towards their mouth so they can eat it, right? So you don't want to be where the tail is. So here I am trying to get on the back of the thing without getting whacked, you know? So.
Well, it helps to know how to do that when you're out researching in Florida because you'll got a lot of gators.
You notice its mouth is taped up. The ones in the wild are not taped up. So
right. But have you come across many gators while you were out looking for Bigfoot and Skunk-Ape?
I've seen them in the water. I have heard them, like the mating calls. Like I've been out in the swamp a couple times and I hear the calls close to me, but I can't tell where they're at, you know, because they blend in so well with their environment. So I just leave. I just like, let me get out of here because I don't know. You don't want to be near a mama gator with her babies, or she'll kill you. So I was just trying to get out there as fast as I could. So
yeah, I've been in a few situations like that in Texas where you hear the call. They're calling out to their mama and you're thinking, where is mama?
Yeah, where's mama at? Yeah, we'll find the baby gators and they'll do their squawking. And it's like, oh crap, they're calling mama and we don't know where mom's at, but I don't want to be anywhere near mom. So
Right. Yeah, you better run. So you met a lot of folks from Skinwalker, I see. That must have been exciting.
Oh, yes, very exciting. I go to a conference in Utah called Phenomenon, and it's held at Vernal, Utah, which is where Skinwalker Ranch is located. So it's a big 4-day event, and all the guys from Skinwalker Ranch are there. So it's a ghost. They do ghost stuff. They have UFOs and aliens, like they had the whole Ancient Aliens crew there. And then, of course, Bigfoot. So it's a very large event. So this was me with Dr. Travis Taylor after a rocket launch event that I went to. He was shooting off rockets like he does on the show. So that was fun.
That must have been very interesting for sure. And I wanted to give a shout out to Jeff Meldrum. I know you've worked with him. Yes.
He's worked with my team, like my team member, Mike Aguilar in particular. He's just been very nice to us. Whenever he sees us, he comes and checks out our prints. our casts and things. So he was, he was only 67, and that's way too young, way too young. And it was just so tragic. I don't know who's going to take his place. Who else is there that can do what it is he does?
Who's going to fill his shoes?
Our community.
Yeah, that's big shoes to fill. That's for sure. Big.
I don't know. I have no idea.
I'm going to pull up your website, and we can go look around your website. You've got a lot of good stuff on there, and the website. Did you want to?
Thank you.
Give a shout out to the midfloridabigfoot.com. Let me just pull it up. But as we're waiting for yeah, let me just grab that.
Yeah, it's so there's like a bio, kind of like our mission statement kind of thing. What it is we are doing out there. We're Florida skunk ape and Bigfoot researchers, and like I said, we're out in the woods every single weekend, and we have been for 6.5 years. And so somebody's always out in the woods, whether it's me or our whole team or only a couple of us. So that's my bio there, where you could read about every single team member and some background about them and what their specialties are, what kind of things they like to do. Like Mike is very good at locating new areas for us, and he likes to cast prints. He likes to find prints, so that's something he looks for. I look for more prints and structures is what my thing is. And Ruby is about the same. That's Ruby Joe Brew there. And she's also, she knows a lot about plant life in the in our swamps and woods and stuff. So she's very knowledgeable. I think she's like 5th generation Floridian. And she's always lived in the swamp. So
okay, that's a bonus
so that's
to know.
Really good. And Christina, she's new. Yeah, right. Christina, she's new to the team. She's one of our new ones. She's a photographer, and she's actually Mike's girlfriend. So she's a great asset to the team. Very upbeat, positive. But like I said, she does photography. And then who do you have next? I think you have Kalen. Kalen is Mike's son. He's 9 or 10 years old now. And so he's super interested in Bigfoot and doing the whole research thing. So he goes out with us on occasion. And he does the same thing. He likes to find prints and stuff. And he's going to be a good little researcher. That's Bob. He's the newest member of our team. And he's always been an outdoorsman, but his specialty is research equipment. He has some, military grade night vision goggles. He has high-end thermal, thermal camera goggles and stuff like that.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So he's got like just about everything you can think of he has, so which is a bonus for us. And then Dr. Bill Hewitt, he's a part-time member of our team. He also belongs to another team, but he's the one that found 4-toed skunk ape print. The copy that I have was found by him down south.
Okay, perfect.
And then the next one is his wife, Bettina. So they go out together and do research. And we've been out with them several times whenever we get the opportunity. So they're really good. And they're more skunk ape because they're down south by Miami, right? So
you've got a really large team.
Yeah, it used to be larger. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to have a large team. I like it being about 5 or 6 people is what I'd like it to be. So yeah, this is the research gallery here where you can see all kinds of weird things that we have found here in Florida, strange, stick arrangements. You can see here, there's all kinds of stuff. So this is where I post our really good
What's your favorite
structures.
thing, Marie? What's your favorite thing that you found since you've been doing all this?
Oh goodness, found. Oh boy, there's just too many things that I have found. I'd like see this thing in the middle right there, that brown thing. Go. All right, we look right there. Stop right there. All right. In the middle there is a picture of me and Renee Holland. She used to be on a Finding Bigfoot. But the picture to the left, this clump in the trees, I found that down in the Everglades, and it was a cluster of vines, a very large cluster of vines. That looks like a hammock.
It does.
It's about at least 10 feet long and about 8 feet wide. It's made of thousands of vines. So it's the perfect place for a creature to climb up there and sleep.
Yeah, it does. It looks like a hammock.
Yeah, it looks just like a hammock. And that's exactly what I thought it was. And I'm like, oh my God, this is perfect. It can just get out of the water, climb, like a skunk ape can climb up there and just sleep. Those are thousands of vines. Our vines here in Florida are really strong. One vine will trip you and it will not break. And that's thousands of vines. So I'm sure that can hold a lot of weight. But it looks like a hammock. So
something with ginormous strength had to have made that.
Yes. Yeah, you think of Florida Panthers assembling that? No. It takes something with hands to make something like that.
So, and a human wouldn't necessarily be able to do that by themselves.
No, because number one, it was just off the path, the trail. It was about maybe 6, 8 feet away from a dry trail. So, why would a human go off into the water to climb trees in order to get up there? That doesn't make sense at all when it's right off a trail. So, but we don't know what made it. It was just a very cool, interesting find down in the Everglades. And that was probably about 4 years ago.
Now, you've got
there's a bunch of strange.
A lot of other things like snakes and, have you ever had a snake bite? Or I see you wear the snake boots.
Oh yeah, you see there's a picture right there of a rattlesnake. We have stepped on rattlesnake, stepped on the head of a rattlesnake. We have encountered water moccasins, which are cottonmouths, they're both extremely poisonous. So we don't encounter them that often. I think total, we've probably come across 4 rattlesnakes and maybe 3 water moccasins that we know of, that we noticed. Yeah. There may have been others that we never noticed and stepped over or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I had the same problem down in South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley. Lots of snakes down there. Yeah, I see a lot.
But yeah, we do wear snake boots for that reason, because we need that peace of mind that we're going to be okay, just in case.
Now, there's a lot of structures here, Marie. That structure there that looks like a cave.
No. It's a rattlesnake, at least hopefully our snake boots.
Yeah, I see your snake boots here. Mm-hmm.
Okay, you're back.
Yeah, we
Can you hear me?
Go back up. Here?
Yeah. See that picture in the middle?
We're having some call drops here.
Can you see that picture in the middle?
This one? Our audio is having some issues. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, if you can a little bit. You're looking for, yeah, see where the red, that one right in the middle.
This
Yes.
one.
See that
Okay.
cast, the
Yep.
picture of the cast with the red background
Yes.
there?
Yep.
That's a four-toed print. That's the one that I have. Look at the size of that big toe on
It's
that thing
huge. Yeah. That's definitely
right there.
something very different. Definitely not
Yeah, it's got a,
human. Right there.
mhm. Right,
Interesting.
right. Yep, four toes with a gigantic big toe.
Yeah.
That's from the Everglades and the Big Cypress Preserve is where it was found.
Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of different things that you found. What's this? Handprints?
The what? I'm sorry?
Did somebody find handprints on their window?
Handprints?
Yes.
Yeah, so Dr. Bill Hewitt down in Miami, this is one of the things that he also encountered there where something a couple times went alongside their car and would just do finger drags. He's actually had a skunk ape slap the side of his car window right next to his head on the driver's side. And then it proceeded to walk around the vehicle and it slapped the other side, the passenger window, with his friend Dave in it. They both freaked out.
Oh my
And when it
gosh.
walked around, it left finger drags. It like touched, it just ran its fingers alongside their SUV.
Oh
So,
my
but
gosh.
it slapped their
Wow.
windows. And they couldn't see it, but they could just see there was this extra blackness in front of the window because it was dark. It was night time. But
Okay.
so this all happened at night.
That's scary. Oh, there's another print there.
That would be scary.
Yes. 100%. Look, you've got a lot of different bent structures that you find there. A lot of different structures. Yeah. So you've got a lot of evidence here on your website for sure. I know we're having some issues with our audio. I'm going to take this off stage. There we go. Can you hear me now? Okay. So I'm going to pull your...
yes. It would be extremely scary.
Now,
it was a cool encounter for them, obviously, but
tell me, if you want to report a Bigfoot encounter, do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about reporting?
You're cutting out. I can't hear you.
Okay. So we're looking at Marie Dumont's website, Mid-Florida Bigfoot Research Group.com. Check it out. I'm going to pull that off stage now.
Okay.
Can you hear me now? Oh, okay. Okay. Marie, thank you so much for being on our show tonight. I know we're having some audio difficulties, so we're going to leave now. I'm going to let you give some shout outs to your fans and where people can find Mid-Florida Bigfoot.
Yes. On Facebook. And I have over 10,000 members of my in my group, and probably 70% of those group members are Floridians, which is really good, very encouraging, because I want to be the Florida resource for Bigfoots and skunk-apes here.
So everybody follow
there,
Marie.
Mid-Florida Bigfoot. We have a YouTube channel, Mid-Florida Bigfoot.
Yes, and they're also on Instagram, and you can follow them again on their website. And Marie, thank you so much for being on the show tonight. And sorry, everybody, for some of the audio difficulties that we've had. But I want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas. And Marie, I hope you have a great Christmas. We're going to leave now with some Bog Team music.
Oh, thank you. You too. Thank you, Jen, for having me on again. It's good seeing you.